7 has been neutralized. Intruder alert.
This week on Battle of the Ports, we are taking a look at Atari's 1987 third-person shooter, Xybots. In Xybots, up to 2 players control Major Rocky Hardy and Captain Ace Gun, who must travel through a 3D maze and fight against a series of robots known as the Xybots, whose mission it is to destroy all mankind. Atari never were that good at game plots, but who cares? They were also never that good at screen space planning in many cases, Xybots being one of them. The bottom half of the screen shows our action, with the rest of it being taken up with information on the player's status and other nonsense. The game was designed by Ed Long, and believe it or not, was originally conceived as a sequel to his previous title, Gauntlet. Unfortunately, Xybots was met with limited financial success, which has been attributed to its unique control system that involved rotating a joystick to turn the player character. This is a real shame because despite me criticizing the layout of the screen, I do really like Xybots. For the time, it was quite impressive and innovative. It's also a lot of fun to play, and one of those games you keep pumping in extra coins just to play some more. Xybots was ported to many systems, but did you know a Mega Drive and SNES version were announced at the 1990 Winter Consumer Electronics Show? Up until now, nothing has ever been released for these 2 ports, so it may be likely that they were never started. The first port we're going to take a look at is for the ZX Spectrum. Now, we were never going to get an arcade experience on the ZX Spectrum, so we can't be too upset with what we have here. Gone are the animated mazes, which are replaced by screen-by-screen updates. These look okay and are quite admirable for the specky. Sadly, the game is hampered by unfair collision detection and low frame rates, which make it tricky to know just how close a projectile is to you. The controls are also troublesome. To turn in this version, we hold down the fire button and push a direction. This leads to your character turning during frantic firefights, as you try to shoot an enemy while moving to dodge their bullets. Next we have the MSX port. Now while this is just the ZX Spectrum version in terms of looks and sounds, it actually plays faster. Besides that, it is the exact same game. Commodore 64 time, and I think we are seeing a pattern here. Yet again, this controls and moves exactly like the ZX Spectrum and MSX versions, meaning it has the same issues with your character turning when in the heat of a battle. There are a few plus points though about this version over the other 2. We have better sound effects and the game looks more defined. Poor Amstrad CPC owners have once again been stiffed with a crappy ZX Spectrum port. This port inherits all the issues found in the Specky game, but now plays even slower. In fact, it's so slow that you can only shoot 2 bullets at a time. Thankfully, Xybots got a few 16-bit ports as well. Let's start off with taking a look at the Atari ST version. Straight away we can see that this is a vast improvement over the 8-bit ports, as to be expected. The graphics are colourful, there's more frames of animation and more action on screen. Sadly, the controls are no different than all other versions that have come before it. So yeah, you'll still end up turning when you don't want to. Amiga time with what seems to be a basic Atari ST port. This is the same game, but now minus any cool opening tune. But at least it still retains the arcade intro, just like the ST version. And we leave the best till last. This is the Atari Lynx port, developed by New FX. This is the only version to feature the arcade's title screen, shop cutscene, and actual scaled mazes. Yep, the turning is still 90-degree frame turns, but at least when moving backwards and forwards, we do get some scaling. Playability wise, this is also a winner. We do need to use the option button to see the map, mind you, but that's a small price to pay for such a nice port. And let's take a look at all those versions of Xybots running side by side.
Zybots.